Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again today. I am your host, Shane Sams, and we've got another amazing coaching call with a Flip Lifestyle community member for you on the program today. My guest today is Tara Eitman. We met Tara back in July of 2021 at one of our Flip Lifestyle Income Surge events. I've been speaking a lot more on big stages, and Jocelyn and I have been doing seminars all around the country. And Tara came to one of our 2-day seminars, and she became a member of the Flip Lifestyle community, and she joined one of our coaching programs. Well, in just a couple short months, she's managed to go out and build her entire website from scratch using Kajabi, and she is ready to take her business and her brand out into the world and get it launched. So I'm going to help her with a launch strategy and a marketing strategy today. Tara's got an amazing niche. She's got amazing chops. She is an expert in passive income. She's used e-commerce, eBay, Amazon, things like that to build an amazing stream of income for her and her family. And she has become so successful at it that she is able to go RVing for 6 weeks at a time. It's pretty crazy. And all you RV people out there, man, y'all are nuts. This RVing thing is taking over the world. I swear everybody I know is getting an RV and everybody's getting out on the road. Well, Tara's mission is to help people live a different life, help people be location independent, help people have streams of income that can support them while they're out on the road. I love her mission and I cannot wait, and I'm so excited to help her achieve it today. On today's podcast, we're going to talk about content marketing strategies. We're going to talk about lead magnets and how your content should be able to build your list for you. And then we're going to talk about launching Tara's membership out into the world so she can get those first members to join. We got a good one today, y'all. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Welcome to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again today. Super excited to talk to another amazing member of the Flipped Lifestyle community. And my guest today is not coming from an RV park. She's coming from an actual house today. Tara Eitman. How you doing, Tara?
Hey, Shane. Thanks for having me. I'm in a house this time.
I know, right? Like last time you were sitting at a picnic bench and we were trying desperately to connect and we could not get the internet to work. And it just crashed. And I was finally like, all right, we got hamsters running the wheels in the back and you're out in the middle of nowhere. So we're not going to do this. So you just went on a 6-week RV trip, correct?
I did. We were 6 weeks from Florida to Texas and back around.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how was it? Was it kind of crazy?
It was our first long-term trip. So I would probably rate it a 7, but I learned a ton. So the next time it won't be as hard.
Next one's a 9. Next one's going to be a 9. It's going to be amazing. All right. Well, tell everybody out there who's listening to the podcast today before we get started on your business. Tell me about you. Tell me about your family. Tell me about your background and where you're from and kind of what you're doing online, what you're getting into.
All right. Well, I am Tara Eitman. I like to call myself the passive income princess. 3 years ago, I lost my full-time job. I came from Michigan, but I was living in Florida, and everybody's like, are you going to come home? And I was like, heck no, I'm going to figure out how to make this work. And since then, I've built multiple streams of income, and now I am actually teaching other people how to do the same.
What kind of passive income? That's a loaded term. There's a lot of different passive incomes, right? Are you doing real estate? You doing online? What are you doing?
Actually, I have 7.
You got 7 streams of income coming in? What are you doing over there?
Yes. I have 4 e-commerce automations, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Facebook. I have a YouTube automation, a Forex automation, and crypto automation. And then I also do real estate investing through vacation rentals.
What do you mean by automation? Just you've got it kind of like set it up and it's kind of running itself kind of deal? Or what do you mean by that?
Yes. Well, some of them are, I hire companies. Like my whole thing is I'm not the professional of everything. I don't need to be the master of all things. I figure out who is the master of something. And so I have several different companies that I work with that I give them a profit split. So it's more of an investment on my side, but they do the work and then we split the profits.
I got you. So you're just looking for that sweet spot profit margin on anything that you can set up where other people are doing the thing, like the eBay automation. You've got, X is happening to get Y listings to make Z money, basically. And then we just split the profit at the end. And if you can stack enough of those, you've got some security built too, because you don't have to worry about one drying up. There's other ones that are going to take over, So what got you into, so you're doing vacation rentals. What got you into RVing? Just because you just have you always dreamed about RVing, or like I always wonder, RV people are interesting. And I call you RV people, not as a derogatory term. I admire your free totally spirits, right? but what got you into RVing before we go any farther?
Honestly, we were watching the movie on Netflix called Nomad, and
get out of here. So this is a new thing. All right.
And me and my boyfriend, we're just I would totally RV, but I don't have a driver. And he's like, I would totally drive. And I was like, really? And he's like, you would totally go? And I was like, okay, let's try it. And then we
that's incredible.
We just spent a couple months looking for floor plans. God literally dropped down the perfect RV. It was the only one in the state of Florida for the floor plan that we looked at. And we're like, okay, well, now we have the RV, so let's plan a trip. And
that's amazing. That's amazing. Just watched a movie and decided to become an RV. It's like I watched Shang-Chi and I'm just going to go start taking martial arts. Right? That's kind of how it is. All right. So tell me about, so we met at one of our events down in Florida. So tell me about the online side. Now, I love when people get into online business, when they have all these e-commerce and different things going. What are you doing in the online space? What kind of membership are you trying to launch? And what is this going to be all about?
Well, I have been a money and mindset coach individually, kind of one-on-one for my friends and family most of my life. I monetized it a couple of years ago, and now instead of doing individual, I'm going to scale it out to a membership model and do group coaching through a course.
Awesome. Yes. Also, too, I was talking to someone about this just the other day. I used to do some one-on-one coaching, and I really realized that people do better in a group setting. So not only is it one-on-one coaching is fine. If you want to do some one-on-one coaching, I'm all for that. But man, when you get 10 people, 20 people on a call, the energy that flows through you and through them into each other, makes people take action. They're not all alone. There's nothing more frustrating than working with someone one-on-one and you know what to do and you tell them what to do and they don't do it.
True.
Right? But in a group setting, there's peer pressure and there's accountability. And it's I didn't show up and someone noticed. And memberships really are perfect for that because they create this mass movement. It's kind of like a table rush. Everybody's doing something. So it's gosh, they're doing it. I got to do it too, So yeah. So where are you at on the build right now? How close are you to launching? Have you already made courses? Have you got them in there? Are you ready to go? What's happening with the actual online business?
Well, because I knew I was going to be on this podcast and because I was in Sam's coaching group, it kind of put a fire under my butt, which
that's what I'm talking about.
Even as coaches, we need our own accountability and our own goals.
Yes.
So my goal was to be ready by the time I recorded this. So I have already pushed the button and it is up for sale on the website.
Oh, let's go. It's out into the world. That's what I'm talking about.
Out into the world.
Yeah. I love how right off the bat of the group, my ringing endorsement for group coaching, you're like, yeah, well, the Flip Lifestyle group coaching lit a fire under me and so did this podcast. The proof is in the pudding, people around here. Okay. So this is open. It's ready. Have you started marketing it yet at all?
That I have not.
Okay.
That's where I have to go next.
Tell everybody the domain name real quick so we know where it is. We'll get you some traffic going here.
thedifferentlife.com.
That's a good domain name. Oh my gosh, thedifferentlife.com. And I assume you're teaching all the passive income strategies you have, and you're trying to help people to get to this different life where you can just disappear into an RV for 6 months or whatever, right?
Yes. And then on top of that, I have a goal setting and mindset course and financial planning. So it kind of takes your life as your dreams and reverse engineers it into actionable goals that you actually go out and do.
So it sounds like too, on top of the passive income, it's more sustainable income. Like, right. You're really going to make sure, like if you have wealth building, it's like, hey, it's cool to make passive income, but what happens if it dries up? Like this is going to keep you making it forever, basically.
Yeah. I really determined that I didn't want just one stream of income, especially after I lost my corporate America job. And I just wanted to have multiple things coming in. So anything ebbs and flows in the economy and the workforce. If the world shuts down because of coronavirus, there's always something else happening.
That'll never happen. A virus shut the world down. Come on. But yeah, I tell you what's amazing. This is something I learned about memberships in particular, and group coaching to an extent, but memberships are really true in this way. Memberships function in a weird kind of business model because they are multiple streams of income. Like every person that pays you, like if you have 1,000 people paying you, you have 1,000 different streams of income, right? So, and if they're spread out geographically, like you said, where things affect things in different places in different ways, like California and Florida were very different during the pandemic, right? Like that, North Dakota and New York were very different during the pandemic. And it was cool when we first heard that the world was going to shut down, it scared us. We were like, okay, well, this is it. Here goes the business. Here goes everything, whatever. Then we realized like, oh, nothing happened because we have multiple streams of income in multiple states and countries, and everywhere is being affected differently. So we don't have to worry about it. It's not a big deal. So it adds this huge layer of protection where instead of one boss giving you money every 2 weeks, it's hundreds and hundreds of bosses because your customers are your boss people, but it's hundreds of people giving you money every single day. Right. Yeah. So that is really cool. All right. Well, let's talk about this. What's holding you back right now from the marketing? We got this launched. You've been on fire. You've got this thing out there. You're ready to take your personality out into the world. Like what's holding you back from just like, you've pressed the button. Now, how are we going to pour gas on this fire of this lighter that you lit? Right.
Yeah. A lot of it, I just have to get over my own fear of just putting it out there and not this fear of like failure of nobody's going to show up. And even if one person shows up, I'm totally okay with that because that was what was supposed to happen.
Well, if you can find one, you can find 101. Right?
Yes.
That's what we always say around here, So like, what's this fear of failure coming from though? Is it a who would listen to me? Is it I'm not going to just be able to figure out to get the traffic, or like, where does that come from? Like deep within inside you, like
in me,
because you're uber successful, Tara. You've done everything successfully. Like, why would you still have this fear?
A little bit of a perfectionism in me.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I like things to be like all done. I've had to learn that the 80-20 rule, where if it's at least 80% done, I'm just going to go with it because I will sit there and nitpick it forever. So, yeah.
So basically you're at this point where you're like, okay, I hit the button. We've got 80-20 good, but now it's like, oh gosh, but now I have to show it to people and they're going to see it's not perfect. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people this. It's like, how like, with your siblings or your family or a couple, like, how like you get off page with one another, and it's like, man, why are we not on the same page? Like I had this all worked out in my head, and I knew exactly how this conversation was going to go perfectly, and then something happened and something went wrong, right? Or you're mad and they're totally happy and oblivious, right? It's because we can't read each other's minds, So like this perfectionism thing always cracks me up. I'm not a perfectionist. I'll put anything out there. I don't care. I haven't shaved in 2 days and we're doing a podcast. Let's go. And but it cracks me up because we assume that the customers that will come to us know what our perfect is in our head, when really they're at 0 and they're looking for anything to help them solve their problem. And if we just put our 80-20 thing in front of them, they're going to look at that going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life because I had nothing. Right. So it's like, let's just take that's your thing might be their perfect. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we got to, I would guess, and I've always find the perfectionist 80-20s are way more perfect than most people's 80-20s. Like, you guys are crazy. Like you probably, yours is probably, I'm going to look at yours and go, whoa, what about it? I'm going to look at this right now. Let me look and see what's going on over here. I'm going to 80-20 you right now. Okay. Hold on.
All right.
Different. Live care. I haven't looked at it today. Let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. All right, hold on. Loading. This website looks better than my website. What are you talking about? This is glorious. Got this picture of someone on a mountain. You're above the fold. Join the membership. Oh, things are animating in with grids and collages. That's a cool logo. You got the little RV going. Oh yeah, This is totally ready to go.
I do love Kajabi.
Is that not the best? Kajabi.
I was totally fearful, and they were just like, just do it. Just go in there and do it. And it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
So when let's go back to that real quick. So you came to one of our live events and we were talking in the room and you were fearful of the tech, right?
Horribly fearful of the tech.
What? Just because you didn't want to know it, you didn't want to figure it out. They'd never done anything like that before, right?
Well, I tried to build a Wix website. It took me entirely too long. It looked like crap. And I was like, I can't do this. And then also I'm more of like, I'm going to find a professional to do it. But then at the same time, I didn't have the time. And I was just like, okay, well, let me just try this. And it wasn't that bad once I did it.
It's incredible. So you built this entirely by yourself, right?
By myself.
This is bonkers.
I made the logo. I made the pictures. I made the collages. I used their template for the animation part. That was already in there, but because I don't know how to do that.
This looks glorious. This looks like I thought you were going to tell me you paid someone to do it. Because this looks really, really. And like, isn't it funny that like you're like, hey, listen, trust me, this funny word called Kajabi. If you just use it, you're going to be fine. You never have to worry about tech again, right? And you're like, come on, really? And then bam, you got a website launched. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I tell you, we used to not recommend anything, and I got frustrated how frustrated our people were in our community with tech. Because we used to teach like WordPress, and we would have people try Wix and Squarespace and all those, really basic cookie cutter programs. And I went on a mission for like months and months in like I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2018 or 19, to find something. And I bought all the software, Tara. I bought everything. I had Infusionsoft, I had GoDaddy, I had WordPress, I had ClickFunnels, I had everything. And when I landed on Kajabi, and when I first logged in and clicked pages, I was like, whoa. And then I clicked a button and added a part, and I was like, whoa. And I just kept clicking and I kept adding things. And all of a sudden I had this website, and I was like, I'm going to email this to our list and see if I can sell something to them. And it was my newsletter, my Membership Masters newsletter, and like clicked a button, had an offer, sent it out, made $10,000 in a weekend. It was like, what just happened? So I'm so pumped that you absolutely love Kajabi because it's awesome. All right. So this website is totally ready to go. So I'm going to high five you virtually with some permission here that do not be a perfectionist. We got to start marketing this thing. Okay. So like, what is the plan now to get this amazing, beautiful website you built on Kajabi in front of people?
I love social media. So my main marketing plan is through Facebook. I did make a Facebook page first before I started to build Kajabi because Facebook was what I knew. Sure. So I have 350 some likes right now. And then I have like almost 3,000 friends in my Facebook. So that's where I'm going to start. I do know a little bit about Facebook ads. So I might throw some dollars in there.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. Let me rephrase. Okay. I don't consider social media a marketing channel. I consider it a distribution channel because it's distributing content, right? Now you can make content on Facebook, and you can definitely do Facebook ads. That works too. But and I think this is a little departure from what you've always done in the past, because you've always been the set up all the machines, right? And let it run with eBay or e-commerce or whatever. But I feel like this is like, you have a message, you have a mission, and you are ready to put yourself out there and kind of lead a movement where people can live differently, Mm-hmm. And when you move from that commodity to a movement kind of business, you have to add a layer of content. Content's usually like blog, YouTube channel, or podcast, right? So what is the content marketing strategy that we will fuel with social media? Let's go back one layer here. Like, are you going to create blog posts? Are you going to create a podcast? Are you going to create YouTube videos? Like, or maybe what kind of content were you going to create on Facebook to get the word out, to get the message out? Well,
I do intend to make a YouTube channel. I haven't yet. And then blogging, just a lot of that content, I guess, was that I'm using right now for marketing is more of our adventure and what we're doing, and then how we live different. So we share our life with everybody else.
So I wonder if you could do this. I wonder if you could go ahead and start the YouTube channel. Do you have a lot of footage from your trip you just took?
I have a lot of pictures. I don't have a ton of video.
Next time you guys go out, you need to video a bunch.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
We did buy a drone. And Ryan was practicing using a drone.
Perfect. Yeah. And maybe even schedule up your next trip, for a week. You know what I mean? Just your next trip soon. And you need to go out on the road. Now, people always freak out because I got to film all the things. No, you don't. Here's what I do when we film. We've got videos on where we've taken Disney cruises that have 200,000 views on YouTube. And we went to the Huntsville, Alabama Rocket Space Center, and me and Isaac were there, and I filmed literally 4 minutes of footage. I would just film 10 seconds here and there. And it has tens of thousands of views. It got during the pandemic, it was being assigned as homework for people in school districts. So it was what is happening over here? Why are there 100,000 views on this all of a sudden? But what I do is I'm really strategic about it. I'll usually pick 1 hour a day where I'll go out and film for 10 minutes. Right. And let's say I'm staying at a resort down in Mexico or something. I'll just kind of eyeball it the first day I'm there. I don't usually film the first day I'm there. I just okay, I need to film that slide. Got to walk around the Lazy River. Got to do this. Got to do that. Maybe over coffee, I'll pencil it out. And then I'll just go record 15 seconds at each place. And that's enough. That's it. So now I'm done for the whole day. Right. I'm done for the day. If we go somewhere during the day, we went to Atlantis, remember the big water park down in the Bahamas? Yes. We went there one day on the Disney cruise. And when we got there, I was walking around. I was just taking 10-second clips here and there of the kids. Right. So by the end of the day, you've got videos that you want anyway. And you've got 10 minutes of footage that you can edit down into a 5-minute video, right? These don't have to be long, hour-long, crazy videos. So each day of the RV thing, you're probably going to film 5 minutes. That's all you got to do. Mm-hmm. Don't let it consume your whole trip, And then you can edit those things together and you can start making them. I would go ahead and start making the picture things though. I've seen people do a great job narrating over picture videos, right? Get a little music. Oh, the first day we went to this, and then we went to this, then we went to that, and you can just kind of talk over it TikTok style, right? Mm-hmm. And go ahead and start making those YouTube videos and putting those out there. And then I would actually recommend to you, I would use Instagram, but I would connect it to Facebook and let it post to your page. Because Instagram, we're seeing a lot of people in this kind of space get that kind of traction with Instagram right now because people can scroll through it and flip through it easier. Instagram's also really super easy to use because it's on your phone. You're taking pictures. You can record those little videos for Instagram and just let them go out onto your feed, then turn them into stories and then download them later to edit and stuff like that. So it's a super easy platform to use for that. But if you could start doing the content, then what you do is you take that YouTube video that you made, you put that on your blog, and then you just type out the information about it. You can transcribe it and then edit the transcript, and you've got a blog post about your trip. And now you can just start that content marketing consistently. You're trying to get a video out every week. You're trying to get Instagram posts every day. And that's all going to point toward some kind of opt-in. So if we've got a content strategy around YouTube and Instagram, what can you offer as an opt-in? If I'm come to your site, if I see your RV video and I'm I love Tara, she's amazing. I want to live differently, she's living differently. What do I do?
Well, it's not up yet, but I do have an ebook and a free first class. So either of those, I was going to decide between.
What's the ebook?
About money and mindset, changing your money mindset and changing your life.
I'm not sure if that money mindset, I usually keep mindset stuff that's not an objection to purchasing for inside the community. If I come to your website, I'm looking down, I'm man, this girl is amazing. She is in an RV doing whatever she wants. She's making some money with somehow. How's she paying for this? How is she paying for this? I want to know how she's paying for this, right? Because you got real design my life, breakthrough experience, date. What does that mean? I don't know what any of this means. It's a little clever, not clear. So I wonder if you could say my 5-step checklist on how to pay to travel full time or something like that. That's terrible wording. That's just like the first thing. But it's like, my first question is, how in the world does she afford to do this? Like maybe it's like, get my free 7-step guide to afford a different life, And then you could say like, hey, I go on RV trips for 6 weeks. Do you want to know how I do it? It's really easy. And then the steps are 1, e-commerce, 2, whatever, 3, and then whatever. Then you kind of PS on that. Like, you can talk about wealth later. They're not worried about wealth right now. They're worried about how do I bridge from my current life to this different life that you're presenting, which seems to be based around RVs because it's got an RV park thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then also like your stuff is very broad right now. I think you need to hammer that RV thing so the RV people come to you at first, like hyper niche down, like get the people who want to be RVers or are RVers and they're running out of money on the RV trail. They need more passive income, right? Like you need to hone that in because the logo screams it. It's a car pulling a little RV thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it says the different life, but all the copy on this page is about multiple streams of income and things like that. And it's like you don't even have to sell that really yet. Yeah, money mindset, that's inside. It's more like this says, I'm going to read this and go through this copy with you. We live differently and you can too. We had a dream to travel, create multiple streams of income, be able to work anywhere with internet connection. Okay, that's cool. We want to work around our life, not our life around us. Let us teach you how to crush those limiting beliefs. Stop. They don't need to know they have limiting beliefs yet, right? What they need to know right there is go back to the income. Everybody knows there's income. Like that's why our catchphrase is, I will teach you how to get 100 people to pay you $50 a month to make $60,000 a year. Like you've got to tell them right now, I know what you need to do to make money. You got to get over your money mindset. I know that you've got to start these passive income streams. I'm the expert. You're the expert. But they don't care at this point in the journey. They care about show me the money so that I can get in my RV and fire my boss, right? Okay. So let's bend your messaging back toward that, and then we can get that out there. So I guess what we need to do probably is just get you consistently creating content that leads to this lead magnet, whatever that becomes. And then tell people about it every day. You got to tell people about it. You got a bunch of Facebook friends, right? You know what I mean? Like then you just got to tell people about it. So is the lead magnet, we got to create a new one now, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would be the 5 steps? What would be 5 tips that you could give people to make X? Like, what would those be? Like, what would you tell people at a real high level if you were going to create that?
A lot of mine start out with just setting up the income streams. So once you have a couple income streams, and that's all going to depend on what they want to do. Like I've niched down and found what I like and love to do. So like
how many did you say you have? Do you have 6?
7.
All right, here's what you say. I got it. This is perfect lead magnet. All right. We had a dream to travel, create multiple streams of passive income, and be able to work anywhere with the internet. All right. We wanted to work around our life, not live around our work. We did that by creating multiple income streams that fund our RV adventures. Mm-hmm. All right. And now you say, click below to learn the 7 income streams that help me live the different life. Boom. Now, take this join membership button above the fold too, and change that to get my 7 income streams. And then that way we can start promoting this through the content. And then just all you got to do is have 7 paragraphs, basically like a list of 7 of your 7 income streams, and a little 1 paragraph that says, like the Forex one or the Bitcoin one or the whatever. Like just explain what they are. And then at the bottom, it just says, hey, join the membership and I'll show you how to do these too. Right. Okay. Now, when they get in there, you need courses on all those things, probably, some kind of modules. The mindset stuff is in there too. And you can order it where they can go take the mindset first. But people don't want to hear that mindset stuff at the beginning. They want to hear the result and the benefit. And then we will guide them through the actual steps. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Awesome. All right. Well, before we go, we always like to tell everybody or get everybody to, we got to declare an action. You're an action taker. I love you. Let's see. You came in, we met in like July, and you have been in the coaching program. You have been crushing everything, and you've got it all done, and you're launched, and you're ready to start people clicking buttons, right?
Yep.
So, all right. So what in the next 24 hours are you going to take action on next to get this ball rolling and get this out to the world and get it launched?
Well, I'm going to create this 7-stream plan and then update the wording on the website to what exactly you just said.
That's exactly right. That's what you're going to do. That's amazing. And then also in the blueprint, make sure you go, I think it's phase 6 is an actual training module on launching and some strategies to get it out through your social media network. So after you get the lead magnet done, take a look at that blueprint video, and then we're off to the races to start telling people how to live the different life. Pretty awesome.
Yes.
Listen, you are an amazing action taker. I love that you're just crushing it 80-20. You're not letting perfectionism hold you back. And I cannot wait to see what happens when you roll this out to the world.
All right.
All right, guys, that wraps up my coaching call with Tara Eitman. What an amazing member of the Flipped Lifestyle community. It was so amazing to connect with her live and in person. And it's been an amazing journey watching her start and build her online business. And I cannot wait to see what she does next. And hey, we'd love to have you inside the Flipped Lifestyle community too. We'd love to help you just like we're helping Tara start, build, and grow an online business that can change your family's future. We have all the training, community, coaching, and resources that you need to succeed online. All you have to do to get started is go over to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/free. And we'll help you take your next steps on your online business journey. We have tons of free resources available to help you get started. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free, put in your name and email, and we will help you get started today. All right, guys, that's all the time I have for this week. But before I go, I'd like to share a Bible verse with you. And I love to share the nuggets of wisdom that I find from the good book on my podcast every single week. Today's verse comes from Romans chapter 12, verse 2. The Bible says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for your life, which is good and pleasing and perfect. I thought that was a good verse for today because of Tara's mission, man. Hey, live a different life. We don't got to be like everybody else. We don't got to settle for the status quo. We don't got to settle for working at the mercy of some corporate office that's going to fire you someday anyway. We've got to be transformed and realize there is more to life than what the world puts in front of us. And that's going to all start with our thinking, all start with our mindset, and that's going to lead to taking action. All right, y'all, that's all the time we have for the Flipped Lifestyle podcast this week. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back with you next time with another amazing member of the Flipped Lifestyle community. Until then, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.
Bye.
I can't wait to see you launch this thing. I have a feeling you're going to get members. Do you have a lot of RV people that you're Facebook friends with and stuff?
Not yet, because I've been doing the entrepreneur passive income thing, and the RV thing is new.
Okay. Start a Facebook group from your page. Okay.
Yeah.
And call it this. These things have to be named like really crazy. Like, what about passive income RV lifestyle?
Love it.
Passive income RV lifestyle. Because that way you can piggyback this huge group that's called RV Lifestyle Group. Your description can say like, how to RV whenever you want and never worry about your income on the road or something like that.